अल्फा स्क्वाड्रन ने कंप्यूटर साइंस की शाखा में उत्कृष्ट प्रदर्शन करते हुए एडमिरल सुरेश मेहता द्वारा संस्थापित चीफ ऑफ द नेवल स्टाफ ट्रॉफी के विजेता हैं। इस टर्म में डिविजनल कैडेट कैप्टन श्रुति दक्ष हंटर स्क्वाड्रन ने सामाजिक विज्ञान में प्रथम आते हुए एयर चीफ मार्शल एनसी सूरी द्वारा संस्थापित चीफ ऑफ द एयर स्टाफ ट्रॉफी जीती है।
Cadets who excel in various sports and physical activities are awarded with merit card, half blue, blue and blazer in order of proficiency. The silver medal for Best Cadet in Riding has been awarded to Squadron Cadet Captain Prabdeep Singh of Lima Squadron. The silver medal for Best Cadet in Sailing has been awarded to Divisional Cadet Captain Jay Yadav.
की लुभावनी सुंदरता, हरे भरे ढलानों पर समृद्ध पत्ते, साथ ही विभिन्न प्रकार के दुर्लभ पक्षियों और जानवरों की प्रशंसा करने के लिए बार बार रुकना होगा, जो प्रकृति प्रेमियों को प्रसन्न करेगा। हम राष्ट्रीय रक्षा अकादमी में बगीचे, फव्वारों, वनस्पतियों और जीवों की प्राकृतिक सुंदरता पर गर्व महसूस करते हैं।
The immaculately maintained gardens of the National Defense Academy reminds one of the words of William Wordsworth. Come forth into the light of things. Let nature be your teacher. Our cadets actively participate in this beautification process through Shramdan in maintaining their squadrons and battalion areas and also some general areas inside the campus. National Defense Academy is a perfect example of how human beings can coexist harmoniously with nature.
A word about the history of the National Defense Academy. After the Second World War, a need was felt to train cadets of the three services jointly, which would enable the warriors of the future to create synergy for combined operations. The idea of a joint services academy was conceived in 1945 with the setting up of the National War Academy Committee under the chairmanship of the then Commander-in-Chief, Field Marshal Sir Claude Auchinleck. The objective was to frame the design of an academy for the joint training of future officers of the three services. The project received impetus when Pandit Nehru foresaw the necessity of completely Indianizing the officer cadre of the armed forces.
To hasten the process, it was decided to start training straight away, and a joint services wing was established in the old prisoners of war barracks at Clementown, Dehradun on 1st January 1949. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in June 1949 formally inaugurated the Joint Services Wing, and the first course, consisting of 190 cadets, passed out from Clementown on 8 December 1950.
40 years later, history was made in 1990 when 3 alumni of the first course took over as chiefs of their respective services. They were General S.F. Rodriguez, Admiral L. Ramdas, and Air Chief Marshal N.C. Suri. History repeated itself in 2020 when 3 course mates of the 56th course, General M.M. Naravne, Admiral Karambir Singh, and Air Chief Marshal R.K.S. Bhadoria took over as chiefs of their respective services.
For the third time in the history of National Defense Academy, course mates from the 61st course, General Manoj Pandey, Admiral R. Harikumar, and Air Chief Marshal Vivek Ram Chaudhary succeeded the course mates of the 56th course and took over as chiefs of their respective services. Furthermore, we are proud to announce that the first two chiefs of defense staff of the Indian Armed Forces, General Bipin Rawat and General Anil Chauhan, had both passed out from this prestigious institution. Chief of Defense Staff is the professional head and permanent chairman of Chiefs of Staff Committee. He is the highest ranking uniformed officer on active duty in Indian military and chief advisor to the Ministry of Defense.
6 अक्टूबर 1949 को पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू द्वारा खड़कवासला में राष्ट्रीय रक्षा अकादमी की नींव रखी गई थी। लगभग 7,000 एकड़ भूमि उस समय बॉम्बे राज्य की सरकार द्वारा प्रदान की गई थी। अकादमी का लेआउट आर्किटेक्ट्स की एक टीम द्वारा बनाया गया था, जो उस समय पुणे इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज के प्रधानाचार्य श्री W.X. मास्करेनस के नेतृत्व में काम कर रहे थे। अकादमी का बुनियादी ढांचा बनाने में लगभग 5 वर्ष लग गए। जो इमारतें आज आपके समक्ष हैं, यह राजपुताना तथा मुगल आर्किटेक्चर का उत्तम मिश्रण है।
निर्माण के लिए अपेक्षित धनराशि का योगदान कई राज्यों द्वारा किया गया। कैडेटों के रेजिडेंशियल ब्लॉकों का निर्माण इन्हीं धनराशियों से किया गया और उनका नाम योगदान करने वाले राज्यों के नाम पर रखा गया है। अकादमी का प्रशासनिक ब्लॉक, जिसे हम सूडान ब्लॉक के नाम से जानते हैं, इसके निर्माण में कुछ सहयोग सूडान सरकार द्वारा धनराशि के रूप में किया गया था। यह योगदान सूडान सरकार ने भारतीय सैनिकों के दूसरे विश्व युद्ध में उत्तरी अफ्रीकी अभियान के दौरान प्रदर्शित वीरता की सराहना करते हुए किया था।
Ladies and gentlemen, the cadets you see marching onto the parade ground are contingent markers taking their positions. The rest of their contingents will soon enter the parade ground from the sides of the quartermaster's fort. They will move to the left and to the right of the parade ground and then line up.
आप सभी से अनुरोध है कि आप सब अपना ध्यान सामने की तरफ ले जाएं। आप देखेंगे कि कंटिंजेंट मार्कर्स अपना स्थान ले रहे हैं। बाकी कंटिंजेंट जल्द ही परेड प्रांगण पर आएंगे और दाहिने और बाएं मुड़कर अपने स्थान पर खड़े होंगे।
Today, there are 1,341 cadets on parade. Out of these, 337 cadets of the 148th course will pass out of the National Defense Academy, out of which 219 are Army cadets, 41 Naval cadets, and 77 Air Force cadets. This term, we have 17 international cadets from 11 different countries: Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Lesotho, Kenya, Zambia, Cameroon, Myanmar, Sudan, Malaysia, and Bangladesh passing out with the 148th course. The National Defence Academy has stood as a shining testimony to India's relationship with its friendly foreign countries. This is evident from the fact that the National Defence Academy is presently training 120 cadets from 22 different foreign countries.
One of the greatest distinctions of the Academy is the happy camaraderie that it confers on all cadets, transcending all service barriers. And the squadron plays a vital role in inculcating this bond. The sound of the bugles, ladies and gentlemen, heralds the entry of the cadets onto the parade ground. And there they come out to the gates of the quartermaster's fort, marching smartly to the inspirational tunes of the academy song. हम एनडीए के कैडेट हैं. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see the contingents marching onto the parade ground to take their positions. The magnificent charger atop which the adjutant is astride is Reliant Robin. This splendid and dynamic charger was born in 2009 and has been allotted to the National Defence Academy by Remount and Veterinary Corps in 2020. This is the 11th parade for Robin as the adjutant's charger in National Defence Academy.
Leading the cadets onto the parade ground is Academy Cadet Captain Udayveer Singh Negi.
Now, a word about drill. Drill inculcates discipline, which is the bedrock of military life. To those of you who have an aesthetic disposition, drill movements will symbolize the very rhyme and rhythm of the poetry of a well-ordered life. And that's precisely the primary aim of this institution, to train our cadets in the art of cultivating a way of life, in which the highest and the noblest attributes of discipline, character, and courage are not only blended, but also nurtured and nourished.
The squadron acts like a home away from home for the cadets.
Shot! Shot! Front one!
देवियों और सज्जनों, निशान टोली निशान को परेड प्रांगण पर ला रही है। आप सभी से अनुरोध है कि निशान को समुचित सम्मान प्रदान करने हेतु कृपया खड़े हो जाएं तथा जो वर्दी में हैं वो कृपया अकादमी कैडेट कैप्टन की कमांड पर सल्यूट करें। Ladies and gentlemen, the Nishan Toli will now bring in the President's colors. When the colors are brought in, you are requested to rise and those in uniform will salute at the word of command of the Academy Cadet Captain.
Front! Shot! Go! Salami! Go! Salami! Shot!
The President's colors were presented to the National Defense Academy on 16 December 1978 by the then President of India, Shri Neelam Sanjeev Reddy, in recognition of the highest standards of training imparted here. It is the privilege of the cadets of the passing out course to carry the President's colors.
In keeping with this tradition, the cadets carrying the President's colors to the parade ground are Squadron Cadet Captain S. Deepankar, flanked by Cadet Sergeant Major Nikul Singh and Cadet Sergeant Major V.S. Vardhan.
Front! March on! Shot! Front! Whoa! Shot!
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, the parade is now lined up for review. The cadet commanding today's parade is Academy Cadet Captain Udayveer Singh Negi.
The officer on the charger to your extreme left is the adjutant, Lieutenant Colonel Praveen Kumar Tiwari. Lieutenant Colonel Praveen Kumar Tiwari is an alumnus of Sainik School Ghodakhal and the 118th course Charlie Squadron of National Defense Academy. An infantry officer, he was commissioned into the 19th Battalion of the Bihar Regiment as the first commissioned officer of the unit. Possessing varied operational, staff, and instructional experience, the officer has served as a Ghatak platoon commander along the Chinese borders in Sikkim, company commander in super high altitude area along line of control in Dras sector, and along line of actual control in Arunachal Pradesh. Additionally, he has undertaken an overseas assignment as an instructor with Indian military training team in Bhutan. His experience extends to training officers from friendly foreign nations. A graduate of Defense Services Staff College, Wellington, the officer has assumed the appointment of adjutant on 30th June 2023.
He is ably assisted by the Assistant Adjutant, Major Rahul Singh Kataria, an alumnus of National Defense Academy, 130th Course, Delta Squadron. The officer was commissioned in the 16th Battalion, the Kumaon Regiment, on 10th June 2017. The officer has served with his battalion in different terrains and operational areas. He served as Ghatak Platoon Commander of his battalion along line of control in Dras sector and as Company Commander of a rifle company along line of actual control during Operation Snow Leopard in Tawaghat sector. The officer has also served in counter-insurgency, counter-terrorism areas of Manipur and Nagaland. He has singular honor of leading the Kumaon and Naga Regiment marching contingent in Army Day and Republic Day parades in 2020. He was awarded with General Officer Commanding in Chief, Central Command Commendation Card in 2021. Major Rahul Singh Kataria took over the appointment of Assistant Adjutant in December 2023.
The actual footwork of training the cadets of National Defense Academy in all aspects of drill is led by Drill Subedar Major Dharmaraj Gurung from the 4th Battalion of the 1st Gorkha Rifles. The Drill Subedar Major served as an instructor at National Defense Academy from 2007 to 2010 and at the Indian Military Academy from 2012 to 2017. As regards the lineup of the contingents on parade, we have 18 squadron-wise contingents standing as per their positions in the championship banner of Autumn Term 2024. In the center of the parade stands the Nishan Toli, proudly carrying the President's colors.
A cadet's initiation to the academy requires him to pledge himself to the nation, which is done under the aegis of the adjutant at the Hut of Remembrance, the Sanctum Sanctorum of the National Defense Academy. The hut serves as a constant reminder to the cadets of the lofty traditions of valor, courage, and sacrifice of their predecessors. Before the start of every term, the adjutant narrates to the cadets the importance of the Academy Honor Code and the Cadets Pledge.
During a cadet stay at the academy, they remind themselves of their pledge to the nation by reciting the NDA prayer at the start of each day. It is essential that the cadets imbibe the right principles and are guided by a tangible code of conduct that spells out the right and the wrong. The National Defense Academy Honor Code was thus promulgated in March 1996 by Admiral Arun Prakash, the then Commandant. It sees the cadet through his basic training and even thereafter in life.
Ladies and gentlemen, in today's parade, the first four salutes would be dummy salutes, as the dignitaries who would be taking the salute would be present only for the final passing out parade. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now awaiting the arrival of Air Vice Marshal Sartaj Bedi, Vayu Sena Medal, Vishisht Seva Medal, Deputy Commandant and Chief Instructor, National Defence Academy. Air Marshal Sartaj Bedi is an alumnus of the 77th Course Charlie Squadron of the National Defence Academy and was commissioned into the Indian Air Force on 13 December 1990 from the Air Force Academy, Dundigal, a graduate of the Defence Services Staff College, Wellington, and the National Defence College, Egypt. The air officer has completed over 3 decades of exemplary service marked by operational excellence, leadership, and academic prowess. In a career spanning over 33 years, the officer has held various important command and staff appointments. Air Vice Marshal Sartaj Bedi assumed the esteemed appointment of Deputy Commandant and Chief Instructor on 5th August 2024.
Brut! Sav!
Ladies and gentlemen, Air Vice Marshal Sartaj Bedi, Vayu Sena Medal, Vishisht Seva Medal, Deputy Commandant and Chief Instructor, National Defence Academy.
Brut! General Salute! Selamat! Just! Brut! Maju! Just! Brut! Work! Shang!
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now awaiting the arrival of Vice Admiral Gurcharan Singh, Ati Vishesh Seva Medal, Nausena Medal, Commandant, National Defence Academy. Admiral Gurcharan Singh assumed the appointment of Commandant, National Defence Academy on 25th May 2024. An alumnus of the National Defence Academy, Admiral Gurcharan Singh was commissioned in the Indian Navy on 1st July 1990. He is a graduate of the Defence Services Staff College, Wellington, National Defence College, Delhi, National Intelligence University, Washington, and the United Nations Staff Officers Course at Stockholm, Sweden. In a career spanning over 34 years, the flag officer has held various challenging command and staff appointments. The officer has commanded INS Kochi, a Kolkata-class stealth-guided missile destroyer, INS Kukri, a Kukri-class missile corvette, and INS Vidyut, a Veer-class missile corvette. The flag officer holds the distinction of being a part of the commissioning crew of 3 Indian-constructed warships, INS Brahmaputra as gunnery officer, INS Shivalik as executive officer, and INS Kochi as commanding officer. On 25th May 2024, the flag officer assumed the command of Commandant, National Defence Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, Vice Admiral Gurcharan Singh, Ati Vishesh Seva Medal, Nausena Medal, Commandant, National Defence Academy.
Brot! General Salute! Selamat! Shot! Brot! Maju! Shot! Brot! Whoop! Shang!
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now waiting the arrival of Air Marshal Ashutosh Dikshit, Ati Vishesh Seva Medal, Vayu Sena Medal, Vishesh Seva Medal, Chief of Integrated Defence Staff to the Chairman, Chiefs of Staff Committee. The Air Marshal was commissioned into the fighter stream of Indian Air Force on 6 December 1986. He is an alumnus of National Defence Academy, Defence Staff Service College, Bangladesh, and National Defence College with more than 3,300 hours of flying. The air officer has an eclectic flying experience on various aircrafts. To name a few, Mirage 2000, variants of MiG, and Jaguar. He took over as Chief of Integrated Defence Staff to the Chairman, Chiefs of Staff Committee on 1st May 2025.
Brot! Stop! Done!
Ladies and gentlemen, Air Marshal Ashutosh Dikshit, Ati Vishesh Seva Medal, Vayu Sena Medal, Vishesh Seva Medal, Chief of Integrated Defence Staff to the Chairman, Chiefs of Staff Committee.
Brot! General Salute! Selamat! Shot! Brot! Maju! Shot! Brot! Whoa! Shang!
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now waiting the arrival of Lieutenant General Dheeraj Seth, Ati Vishesh Seva Medal, Sena Medal, General Officer Commanding in Chief, Southern Command. Lieutenant General Dheeraj Seth is an alumnus of the 69th Course, Foxtrot Squadron, and was commissioned into the 2nd Lancers in December 1986. The General Officer is a graduate of Defence Services Staff College, Wellington, where he was awarded the Best All-Round Student. He has attended the prestigious Higher Command course at the Army War College and the National Defence College at New Delhi. In his nearly 4 decades of illustrious career, the Army Commander has had the distinctions of tenating challenging command and staff appointments in varied operational environments. His command tenures include Command of Skinner's Horse, one of the most renowned tank regiments of the Indian Army, an armored brigade, part of the Strike Corps along the Western Front, a counterinsurgency force in Jammu and Kashmir, the Desert Strike Corps, and later General Officer Commanding of Delhi area, prior to assuming command of Indian Army's Southwestern Command at Jaipur. Lieutenant General Dheeraj Seth assumed command of the Southern Army on 1st July 2024.
Brut! Stop! Done!
Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant General Dheeraj Seth, Ati Vishesh Seva Medal, Sena Medal, General Officer Commanding in Chief, Southern Command.
Brut! Slumber! Shast! Brut! March up! Shast! Brut! Whoop! Sham!
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now awaiting the arrival of Air Vice Marshal Sartaj Bedi, Vayu Sena Medal, Vishisht Seva Medal, Deputy Commandant and Chief Instructor, National Defence Academy, the reviewing officer for today's parade. The Air Marshal is an alumnus of the 77th Course Charlie Squadron of the National Defence Academy and was commissioned into the Indian Air Force on 13 December 1990 from the Air Force Academy, Dundigal. A graduate of the Defence Services Staff College, Wellington, and National Defence College, Egypt, the air officer has completed over 3 decades of exemplary service marked by operational excellence, leadership, and academic prowess. In a career spanning over 33 years, the officer has held various important command and staff appointments and has over 5,300 hours of flying experience on various aircraft. Air officer is a qualified flying instructor, an instrument rating instructor and examiner. During his service, the officer has been awarded the Vayu Sena Medal for gallantry and Vishisht Seva Medal for distinguished service. In addition to his operational achievements, the air officer holds a master's in science in defense studies from Madras University and a bachelor's in science from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. Air Vice Marshal Sartaj Bedi assumed the esteemed appointment of Deputy Commandant and Chief Instructor on 5th August 2024.
Ladies and gentlemen, please look ahead. You will see 3 Chetak helicopters in ensign formation fly across the parade ground.
Brut! Serve! Done!
Ladies and gentlemen, Air Vice Marshal Sartaj Bedi, Vayu Sena Medal, Vishisht Seva Medal, Deputy Commandant and Chief Instructor, National Defence Academy, the reviewing officer for today's parade.
Brut! General Salute! Selamat! Shast!
The number of our alumni who have been decorated in war is legion. Most of them have had their baptism with fire in the wars since independence. Some where blizzards and snowstorms rule. Some where the wind blows full of sand. Some where the waves hold argument with the sky, and some in the uncharted space above. But, like professional soldiers, they were conscious of the hazards of the profession they had chosen and were conscious of the contribution they were making to safeguard the sovereignty of our nation. In this long march to glory, our alumni have demonstrated exemplary courage and dedication both in war and peace. They have defended our borders, kept the territorial waters safe for the nation, and touched the sky with glory. The list of our alumni who have distinguished themselves in war would read like a veritable who's who of Indian heroes. Till date, these heroes have been awarded 3 Paramveer Chakra, 32 Mahavir Chakra, 165 Veer Chakra, 12 Ashok Chakra, 47 Kirti Chakra, and 160 Shaurya Chakra.
There are some whom we always remember with special fondness. Captain Gurbachan Singh Salaria, 10th Course, Bravo Squadron, 2nd Lieutenant Arun Khetrapal, 38th Course, Foxtrot Squadron, and Captain Manoj Kumar Pandey, 90th Course, Mike Squadron.
The reviewing officer will now review the parade. Leading the line up is the contingent of Gold Squadron, proudly carrying the Chiefs of Staff banner. The second contingent is of Charlie Squadron. The third contingent is of Romeo Squadron. The fourth contingent is of India Squadron. The fifth contingent is of Lima Squadron. The sixth contingent is of Juliet Squadron. The seventh contingent is of November Squadron. The eighth contingent is of Bravo Squadron. The ninth contingent is of Panther Squadron. The Nishan Toli proudly carrying the President's colors. The 10th contingent is of Mike Squadron. The 11th contingent is of Alpha Squadron. The 12th contingent is of Kilo Squadron. The 13th contingent is of Foxtrot Squadron. The 14th contingent is of Oscar Squadron. The 15th contingent is of Hunter Squadron. The 16th contingent is of Delta Squadron. The 17th contingent is of Echo Squadron. The 18th contingent is of Quebec Squadron.
Concluding the lineup is the appointments contingent led by Academy Cadet Adjutant Madhav Kumar. The list of achievements of National Defense Academy alumni is endless. Apart from gallantry in war, our alumni have displayed exemplary courage and self sacrifice, even while they have been away from the battlefield. The Ashok Chakra, the highest peacetime gallantry award, winners of National Defense Academy are Second Lieutenant P.M. Raman, 6th Course, Alpha Squadron. Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma, 35th Course, Juliet Squadron. Colonel N.J. Nair, 38th Course, India Squadron. Major Sudhir Kumar, 72nd Course, Juliet Squadron. Captain A.S. Jasrotia, 73rd Course, Echo Squadron. Major R.K. June, 78th Course, Kilo Squadron. Second Lieutenant Rakesh Singh, 79th Course, Bravo Squadron. Second Lieutenant Puneet Dutt, 87th Course, Echo Squadron. Major Sandeep Unikrishnan, 94th Course, Oscar Squadron. Major Mohit Sharma, 95th Course, India Squadron. Major D. Raghuraman, 95th Course, November Squadron. Captain Harshan Radhakrishnan, 101st Course, Golf Squadron.
The cadets of National Defense Academy follow in the footsteps of some of our illustrious alumni who have scaled the highest peaks in the Himalayas, sailed around the world, and also done the country proud on the sports field. Some of those whom we mention with special pride are Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma Ashok Chakra, the first Indian to enter space. Commander Dilip Dhonde Shaurya Chakra, the first Indian solo circumnavigator of the globe. Captain H.D. Motiwala, who became the first Indian to be awarded the prestigious Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award, Dronacharya Award, and the Arjuna Award for yachting. Wing Commander Yashwant Anil Narayan Petkar swam across the English Channel twice, creating national and Asian record.
मेजर अभिजीत सिंह माउंट एवरेस्ट चढ़ने वाले पहले पूर्व अलमनस हैं। अर्जुन पुरस्कार प्राप्त करने वाले कर्नल राजवर्धन सिंह राठौड़ ने एथेंस ओलंपिक 2004 में डबल ट्रैप शूटिंग में रजत पदक प्राप्त किया।
Brut! Serve! Done! Brut! Nigat load! Chal! Brut! Nigat column up! That shall serve! Matse Kuzigo! Goals got it again! Brut! Niner, Chiligo! Niner! Mark! Front! Myself! That chal!
You can now see the cadets march forward to the martial tune of Kadam Kadam Badhaye Ja.
Ladies and gentlemen, the parade is accompanied by flypasts. The first flypast was with three Chetak helicopters in ensign formation. Flying the first helicopter was Group Captain Sai Kiran, 105th Course, India Squadron, and his co-pilot was Lieutenant Commander Anmol, 133rd Course, Romeo Squadron. The second helicopter was piloted by Wing Commander Pankaj Borkar, 114th Course, Oscar Squadron, and his co-pilot was Squadron Leader Ashish Saklani, 133rd Course, Delta Squadron. The third helicopter was captained by Squadron Leader Aditya Shekhar, 123rd Course, Call Squadron, and he had Flight Lieutenant Nikhil as his co-pilot. The second flypast will be by three Super Demona aircrafts in three Shakti formation. Flying the three aircrafts are Wing Commander Kulkarni, Squadron Leader Alok Shukla, and Squadron Leader Hitanshu Rathi. The third flypast will be by three Su-30 aircrafts. Flying the first aircraft is Wing Commander Abhijit Singh, 112th Course, Gaul Squadron, and his co-pilot is Flight Lieutenant Shubham Yadav, 135th Course, Juliet Squadron. Flying the second aircraft will be Wing Commander Prashant Dwivedi, 114th Course, Kilo Squadron, and his co-pilot is Flight Lieutenant Danish Siddiqui, 134th Course, Panther Squadron. The third aircraft will be flown by Wing Commander Rakesh Gill, 118th Course, Hunter Squadron, and his co-pilot is Squadron Leader Shiv Kumar, 132nd Course, Foxtrot Squadron.
In all nations, martial music has accompanied feats of arms, serving the twofold purpose of inspiring the troops to fight and as a method of conveying orders. Playing this inspiring music today, we have four bands. These bands are the National Defence Academy Military Band, led by Subedar C. Shankar, the National Defence Academy Pipe and Drums Band, led by Naib Subedar B.M. Kamble, the MEG and Center Pipe and Drums Band, led by Subedar Major G. Ramu, and the 3rd Wing Air Force Band, led by Warrant Officer Sanjay Kumar.
देवियों और सज्जनों, आप सभी से अनुरोध है कि जब निशान टोली निशान के साथ आपके सामने से गुजरे तब कृपया खड़े हों तथा जो वर्दी में हैं वे कृपया सल्यूट कर निशान को सम्मान प्रदान करें. Ladies and gentlemen, when the Nishan Toli passes in front of you, you are requested to rise and those in uniform will salute as a mark of respect for the President's colors.
Leading the parade is Academy Cadet Captain Udayveer Singh Negi, followed by the cadets of Golf Squadron, proudly carrying the Chiefs of Staff banner. The contingent is led by Squadron Cadet Captain Aditya Omi. The contingent of Charlie Squadron, led by Squadron Cadet Captain Nitish Yadav. The contingent of Romeo Squadron, led by Squadron Cadet Captain Ansh Kumar. The contingent of India Squadron, led by Squadron Cadet Captain Shishir Joshi. The contingent of Lima Squadron, led by Squadron Cadet Captain Prabdeep Singh. The contingent of Juliet Squadron, led by Squadron Cadet Captain Yadnesh A. Patil. The contingent of November Squadron, led by Squadron Cadet Captain Abhay. The contingent of Bravo Squadron, led by Squadron Cadet Captain Shivansh. The contingent of Panther Squadron, led by Squadron Cadet Captain Vishav Sharma. The Nishan Toli, proudly carrying the President's colors.
The contingent of Mike Squadron, led by Squadron Cadet Captain Shubham Latwal. The contingent of Alpha Squadron, led by Squadron Cadet Captain Sumit Pandey. The contingent of Kilo Squadron, led by Squadron Cadet Captain Shubhankar Kumar. The contingent of Foxtrot Squadron, led by Squadron Cadet Captain Nikhil Jangra. The contingent of Oscar Squadron, led by Squadron Cadet Captain Tejas Sharma. The contingent of Hunter Squadron, led by Squadron Cadet Captain Prasad Bhaskar Gaikwad. The contingent of Delta Squadron, led by Squadron Cadet Captain Aniket Kahol. The contingent of Echo Squadron, led by Squadron Cadet Captain Ronak Hudda. The contingent of Quebec Squadron, led by Squadron Cadet Captain Vishal Kumar. Concluding the lineup is the appointments contingent, led by Academy Cadet Adjutant Madhav Kumar. And finally, Lieutenant Colonel Praveen Kumar Tiwari, Adjutant, National Defence Academy, saluting the reviewing officer on his charger, Reliant Robin.
The cadets of this institution have been consistent in making the most of the excellent all-round training facilities available at the academy. One important aspect of training in National Defence Academy is the camps they attend during their second, fourth and sixth term. The participation in these camps in the academy prepares them for future military challenges and helps in building an overall sense of camaraderie, bonhomie, team spirit, and quick adaptation to unknown and difficult conditions.
Ladies and gentlemen, among the various sports events which happened during Spring Term 2025, the inter-squadron basketball competition was won by Golf Squadron. The inter-squadron hockey competition was won by Charlie Squadron. And the inter-squadron cross-country competition, which tests the physical and mental endurance of our young cadets, was won by Charlie Squadron.
Ladies and gentlemen, the equestrian training team of National Defense Academy has been performing exceedingly well in various equestrian and polo competitions at regional, services and national levels. This training team has won a total of 31 medals in the Army Equestrian Championship, which includes 5 gold, 8 silver, 11 bronze, and various highly recommended positions. Apart from individual gold and bronze medals, the cadets bagged various team medals as well. A total of 1 half blue and 5 merit cards were awarded to cadets in spring term 2025 on the basis of their exceptional performance in riding.
The results of the training here are seen in the many wars India has fought over the years and the senior appointments achieved by the alumni.
Right. Stop. Right. आगे बढ़िया बात बात Right. Guli load. चल. Right. Sarge. Mad sub. Sarge. Right. समीक्षा कर्म मत सब. चल. Right. General salute. Selamat. Just. Right. March up. Just. Right. Whoa. Jump.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you look to the extreme left, you can see Divisional Cadet Captain K. Leela Shahi from Call Squadron, coming to hand over the Chiefs of Staff banner to drill instructor Company Havaldar Major Gurpreet Singh of the 13th Battalion of Sikh Light Infantry Regiment, who is receiving this on behalf of the Academy so that it can now be presented to the squadron that has won the championship this term. Earlier, we had the Commandant's banner for the champion squadron. The Chiefs of Staff banner was instituted during autumn term 1980. Bravo Squadron was the first to win it then.
Ladies and gentlemen, on today's parade, we have both female and male cadets as cane orderlies. These cadets are Cadet Shresh Chaturvedi, Sergeant Chandrabhanu Danu, Cadet Pratik Prakash Sawant, Cadet Tanish Saharan, Cadet Ananya, and Cadet Avni.
The relieving officer will present medals to the award winners in a short while. The silver medal to the best sportsman of the passing out course goes to Battalion Cadet Adjutant Prince Raj of Charlie Squadron. The silver medal for the best cadet in physical training is awarded to Cadet Askatabe Jusupo of Foxtrot Squadron. The silver medal for the best cadet in drill is awarded to Cadet Saurav Chaudhary of Juliet Squadron. Winner of the Chiefs of Staff banner, Call Squadron.
The silver medal for the best cadet in drill is awarded to the cadet who had displayed the highest standards of military bearing, turnout, word of command, and in drill movement during his entire stay in the academy. The silver medal for the best cadet in physical training is awarded to the cadet who had displayed the highest standards of flexibility, agility, strength, and endurance in physical proficiency during his entire stay in the academy.
The silver medal to the best sportsman of the passing out course is adjudged on the basis of his participation in various inter-squadron sports competitions, his selection in the academy teams, and the level of proficiency attained by him in various sports activities.
The Chiefs of Staff banner is awarded to the squadron standing first in the overall championship. The championship is decided on the basis of points gained by the squadron in the various inter-squadron competitions held during the term.
The squadron cadet captain of Call Squadron will receive the Chiefs of Staff banner. The pride of these four young men is evident as they march forward to receive their well-deserved awards. The training at NDA inculcates in cadets the qualities of leadership and a drive to excel. A cadet is transformed into an officer and a gentleman over the 3 years that he trains here.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, a carrier belt is being slung over the shoulder of Squadron Cadet Captain Aditya Omi of Golf Squadron so that he can now receive the coveted Chiefs of Staff banner.
The relieving officer is now requested to present medals to the award winners and the Chiefs of Staff banner to the champion squadron of this term. The silver medal for the best cadet in drill is awarded to Cadet Saurav Chaudhary of Juliet Squadron. The silver medal for the best cadet in physical training is awarded to Cadet Askatabe Jusupo of Foxtrot Squadron. The silver medal to the best sportsman of the passing out course goes to Battalion Cadet Adjutant Prince Raj of Charlie Squadron. Winner of the Chiefs of Staff banner, Golf Squadron. इन कैडेटों ने न केवल अपने स्क्वाड्रन का नाम गौरवान्वित किया है बल्कि अपने माता पिता का शीश भी गर्व से ऊंचा कर दिया है।
गोल्फ स्क्वाड्रन के कैडेटों के लिए भी यह अत्यंत हर्ष व उल्लास का समय है कि उन्होंने पढ़ाई, शारीरिक प्रशिक्षण, खेलकूद व क्वायद जैसी गतिविधियों में अपनी महारत साबित कर चीफ्स ऑफ स्टाफ के प्रतिष्ठित ध्वज को प्राप्त किया है। चैंपियन स्क्वाड्रन होने के कारण गोल्फ स्क्वाड्रन के कैडेट अब दाहिने कंधे पर लैंडयार्ड लगाने के साथ साथ अपने स्क्वाड्रन भवन के आगे 2 समारोहिक तोपें भी रख सकते हैं। साथ ही वे अपने स्क्वाड्रन भवन पर चीफ्स ऑफ स्टाफ के प्रतिष्ठित ध्वज को फहरा भी सकते हैं।
The medal winners are marching back to take their positions. It is indeed a proud moment for them as well as for all those who have been associated with their training here, and of course for their parents. For the cadets of Golf Squadron, it is also a special occasion as they have been declared the champion squadron and have received the prestigious Chiefs of Staff banner. The distinction of being the champion squadron entitles the squadron to put up the banner atop the squadron building next term. It also entitles the squadron to display 2 ceremonial guns at the entrance to the squadron, symbolizing their achievement.
It gives the cadets of the Golf Squadron the proud privilege of wearing the red colored lanyard on the right shoulder, unlike the cadets of all the other squadrons who wear it on the left shoulder. It is indeed a rare honor for Golf Squadron because they have been adjudged the champion squadron.
The relieving officer is requested to kindly address the parade.
My dear guests, faculty members, cadets, especially those belonging to the passing out 148th course, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you. At the outset, I would like to compliment the cadets for their smart turnout and sharp drill movements, the rain notwithstanding. If I am to assume these to be reflective of the training standards that you have achieved here, then you can all pat yourselves on your backs for a job well done, as should the entire instructional and support staff here at the National Defence Academy. There is no gain in saying that the past 3 years would have stretched every sinew and tendon in your bodies, with each muscle aching, sending signals to your brain to raise your hand to give up and call it quits. But you did not. And each time that you did not, you peeled away another veneer from your self-perceived notions of what you had earlier thought you were incapable of. So in a few days' time, when you hear the word of command for Safal cadets to go past the Antim Pug in slow march, remind yourselves that you have indeed been Safal. You have been Safal to overcome consistent adversity as you had never experienced before. You have been Safal to enter a world of discipline and camaraderie as you would never have known. You have been Safal in developing a character that the average man in the street does not possess. And most importantly, you would have been Safal in moving closer to your own and your parents' aspirations for you. In sum, believe me when I say that today you have been Safal to raise yourselves shoulders above the gangly teenagers you would have been when you entered the Pashan Gate 3 years ago. So what should have changed in each one of you? I would personally put loyalty at the very top of this list. This includes loyalty to our country, to your services, and of course, loyalty to your units. This is the basic fabric of the military and the pillar on which it stands. Secondly, integrity and truthfulness, which, even to your discomfort, will always hold you in good stead, even beyond the realm of your profession. Lastly, empathy and your own professionalism. These are two qualities that will help you engender team building and assist you in leading those placed under your command. Remember, punishing subordinates is very easy. Bringing out a positive material change in them is not. Put together, these traits are the hallmarks of good soldierly character and constitute the very essence of the term ex-NDA. Now, I should hasten to remind you that the term ex-NDA is not only a badge of honor to be worn with pride, which it indeed is, it is also a huge responsibility to bear. Always remind yourselves that the portals of this academy have been graced by the likes of 1317 Bravo, 10th course, DCC Gurbachan Singh Salaria, 7498 Fox 38, SCC Arun Khetrapal, and most recently 22438 Mike 90, DCC Manoj Pandey. This is not to mention the tens of thousands of NDA alumni who have braved adversity and battled overwhelming odds to discharge their duties to the best of their abilities. Each one of them has brought laurels to our nation, their respective services and units, and most importantly, to the National Defence Academy. Cadets of the 148th course, you are now standing on the threshold of joining this exclusive club. Make us proud. And why I'm confident that each one of you will acquit yourselves splendidly is because I have witnessed you steering some epochal changes in the history of the National Defense Academy. At the top of this list would undoubtedly be the induction and subsequent integration of female cadets in NDA. The female cadets of the 148th course have performed exceptionally well, paving the way for future generations. They have asked for no quarters and they were given none. However, it would be remiss of me to not also compliment your male course mates who, in no small measure, share this credit too. Suffices to say, together, your course has helped National Defense Academy make history. Go forth and continue to prove your mettle as you have done here. I know each one of you has it in you, for I have seen it in your faces and in your performances. Let your subordinates be forever inspired by your knowledge, professionalism, and physical fitness. Let these become a natural part of your very being. Forever bear in mind that while CVs are worn, a uniform is donned, as are the responsibilities that come with it. In this hustle-bustle of the end-of-term activities, do realize and absorb the significance of this momentous occasion. During the final parade on the 30th, the passing out cadets must pause, look around, and soak in the aura of the moment and the history of the ground that you stand upon. And as you march past the quarterdeck to the strains of Auld Lang Syne, remind yourselves that old acquaintances made here are indeed never to be forgotten. When you cross the Antim Pug on the final day, you will be stepping into a new world with boundless possibilities. As you grapple with these prospects and the opportunities that they may offer, keep asking yourselves this one key question, and repeatedly. Do I want to become a good officer, or do I want to become a successful officer? As I conclude, I would like to paraphrase a portion of Rabindranath Tagore's poem, Where the Mind is Without Fear. And this is indeed my prayer for each one of you. Where the mind is without fear and the head held high, where there is hunger for knowledge well beyond that required, where you strive to improve upon yourselves consistently, where tireless training stretches its arms towards perfection, where professional study and sound reason drive your deeds and actions, where you lead your subordinates with personal example and courage, where you forever remain cognizant of the needs of your juniors, where your actions make your alma mater forever proud. In this future, may each one of you awake. Godspeed and happy landings to each one of you. Jai Hind.
Brot! Sultan! Nishant Talab! Nishant Kop! Let out!
Ladies and gentlemen, as the presence colors are being carried off the parade ground, you are requested to rise, and those in uniform will salute at the word of command of the Academy Cadet Captain.
Brot! Nishant Kop! Salami Tigop! Salam! Shast!
The President's Color Award is one of the highest honor that is bestowed upon any military unit. It is also known as Rashtrapati Ka Nishan in Hindi. A special flag known as Nishan is given to the unit as part of the award. The President's Color Award is a prestigious honor awarded by the President, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces of India, to Armed Forces unit that has rendered exceptional service to the nation. While the practice of carrying colors into the battle has stopped, the tradition of receiving, holding, and parading the color continues even today in the armed forces.
Parade! March up! Shot! Parade! Nigat slide! Chal! Parade! Sarge! Mati sab! Sarge! Parade! अंदर को चलिए धन्यवाद मार Parade! Nine by go! Nine by sub! Chal!
अब कैडेट परेड की समाप्ति के लिए अपना अपना स्थान ले रहे हैं। दीक्षांत समारोह का गौरव व गरिमा से पूर्ण यह अवसर कैडेटों के 3 वर्ष के कठिन परिश्रम का सबसे महत्वपूर्ण दिन है।
The cadets are now forming up in preparation for the culmination of the parade. The cadets of the passing out course will proceed towards the Antim Pug at the quarterdeck. The Antim Pug is marked at the quarterdeck, which symbolizes the passing out of cadets of the 148th course. Later, when the band will play the lilting tune of All Lang Syne, which will take most of you down the memory lane, the junior cadets will go back to the quartermaster's fort away from you, and the cadets of the passing out course will march towards the quarterdeck. The parade will culminate with cadets of the passing out course and the junior courses forming up and marching slow.
Crossing the threshold of the quarterdeck enables them to join the galaxy of National Defense Academy alumni. This is a day of mixed sentiments. The joy of success and sorrow of separation stand as a testimony to the firm concepts of discipline and determination which molds them as young leaders.
The passing out parade is a moment of retrospection to see how discipline has shaped our young cadets. Discipline has always been the bedrock of training at the National Defense Academy.
should all acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should all acquaintance be forgot and days of auld lang syne? These lines are a fitting tribute to the days gone by of lifelong friendships and unbreakable bond between the cadets of the tri-services established at the National Defense Academy during their years of training. The cadets pass out of National Defense Academy for the second lap of their journey in different academies, but with a deep sense of connection between them, developed at their alma mater.
The junior cadets are now marching back towards the quartermaster's fort, while the cadets of the 148th course march towards the quarterdeck. They will step on the quarterdeck, salute the national flag on the mast, and bid farewell to the academy, their home for the past 3 years.
If you look to the left and to the right of the quarterdeck, you'll see cadets manning the Jacob's ladders on the quarterdeck mast. These cadets belong to the first term of the academy. They'll cheer the cadets of the passing out course. There'll be a fly past to honor the success of the passing out course as the cadets approach the quarterdeck. We wish the cadets of the 148th course good fortune and glorious years of service to the nation in keeping up with the highest traditions of the academy and living up to its motto, service before self.
सच है, विपत्ति जब आती है कायर को ही दहलाती है। सूरमान नहीं विचलित होते, क्षण एक नहीं धीरज खोते। विघ्नों को गले लगाते हैं, कांटों में राह बनाते हैं, शूलों को मूल नसाते हैं, पर खुद विपत्ति पर छाते हैं।
आज 148 कोर्स के कैडेट्स इसी दृढ़ निश्चय व इन्हीं फौलादी इरादों के साथ जीवन के अगले पड़ाव की ओर बढ़ रहे हैं।
It is this discipline and loyalty that the nation is proud of in every warrior, which are painstakingly developed and ingrained here at the National Defense Academy. The National Defense Academy stands for traditions built over years of experience with excellence through training and hard work. Culture growing out of such traditions has molded every generation of cadets in a uniform pattern.
Ladies and gentlemen, in view of the solemnity of the occasion, we request you to remain seated while the passing out course cadets are in the process of taking formal leave of the academy. You are requested to leave the parade ground only after the reviewing officer and other senior dignitaries have departed.
Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstances, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Being an officer means, above all, being a leader of men. National Defense Academy is the ideal opportunity for young cadets to imbibe important aspects of leadership like courage, stamina, team spirit, physical fitness, mental toughness, and the will to win. This value system is very faithfully upheld by all the cadets of the Academy. In fact, they tend to develop a motto which says, winning is not everything, it is the only thing.
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, not lose the common touch. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
And so we bid adieu to the 148th course, wishing them well in their journey ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, the Academy Cadet Adjutant and the Academy Cadet Captain are now approaching the quarter deck. The fragrance in the air of the National Defense Academy is enough to raise a storm of nostalgia in the minds of not only its alumni, but also those who have had a sojourn here. The passing out parade is thus not the end, but a beginning.